What is going on, guys? Welcome back so soon. Commentary for you. Amber has put up a video because she said a lot of people are confused. So she's going to make this video. She's going to clear everything up. And let me just say that she really has cleared all of this up for the most part. I think it's the fact that she's been editing these videos together. Specifically, the two about the Billie Eilish concert. And it's not 20 videos, right? It's not this massive backlog of content. It really, if we look at it, could have been a single video, right? You could have had the whole get ready with me and then the trip and then kind of the recap all as one. But that, in my opinion, created some confusion because the timeline was thrown off. So she does say the concert, which I thought was the 13th or 14th, was actually on the 14th, and that Rarity left the morning of the 17th. So that would have been, if you assume there was a day of travel, the concert was at night on the 14th. So you would assume you had a travel night. That means the 15th, she would have returned. If not, the 16th, she would have been back. And then shortly thereafter, she says to anyone asking why she's still uploading, she can do two things at once. She can work, and by work, we mean, upload, and look for the cat. And it's just really, again, not to go back to it, but it's the optics of the situation. She was going weeks, if not close to a month, with little or no content. And now all of a sudden, we're getting these super clickbait titles. I mean, let's understand that's what these are. And she was so fast before to push back at reaction channels and say, she needed to take a break, her mentals. And yet now, when she has something truly to focus on, when there's something in her life that should be occupying her time, she's making content every other day. And she can sit there and say, oh, I edit these at 2 a.m. when it's cold, when it's snowing, and thinking that Rarity's been brought in by someone and all she does is cry and she's becoming a shell of herself. I think another part of this is it seems like she isn't really following through a lot. Is she doing the due diligence? Because all we do is see this sitting around talking about Rarity in past tense. We don't hear about, I went door to door today. I went to shelters today. I called local animal hospitals today. I mean, Amber, the cat has no collar. The cat has no chip. It's not just going to be connected as, oh my God, that's Amberlynn Reid's cat. We don't hear about all the things that you did prior to now. So she even jokes very strangely that, Rarity could be out having the time of her life. And that the cats don't just run away. Cats go out and explore. And she says Rarity was love there. And she wasn't stressed. And to prove this, she puts a video up of Tommy laying there petting Rarity. And I thought to myself, what a weird video. Like, what a weird video. It just so happens that right before your cat goes missing, you were laying in bed filming this person play with Rarity. It just seems so strange. And I'd also like to point out there's a lot of posturing towards Tommy in this. It's very direct. It's not kind of just, slid in. It's very much, this is what she's doing. This is what she's helping. Look at what she's done. It's almost like it's being forced upon you. And she goes into this, I'm being attacked for crying. I'm being attacked for not crying. I'm being attacked because when I cry, I don't have tears. And then she says that the reason for that was because when she filmed the video about Twinkie, there was mixed company in the home. And she had not filmed in front of those people. So that's why she seemed hesitant, why she seemed shy. And this goes back to the point I just made. Help me understand, right? You go from literally having nothing to do, but your mentals make it so difficult to go on YouTube, which now you say is your job. But then all of a sudden, when you have something to do, you're so determined to film that you can't wait till company leaves. You can't go to another part of the home. You have to do it around other people. It just doesn't make any sense. And then she goes on to say, her anxiety, her mentals are so bad that her brain is just going towards the worst about Rarity. That's why she speaks in the past tense. And I think a lot of people realize that, animals do pick up on these things. So when Amber is sitting there and saying, listen, I wasn't totally happy, I was going through all these issues. You also have to combine that with she moved across the country. She was doing this for the love of Tommy. Of course, she should be in a great spot. But instead, she's sitting there and saying, oh, I had all this stress, this fear, this uncertainty, this doubt. Why is it so irrational to think that the animals would have those same emotions if they're around Amber and she has all those emotions? She says that the yard is fenced in, even though people say that it isn't, and she goes over how it happened. So basically, if you've ever watched, the episode of Beavis and Butthead, or it might actually be the movie where they have to kind of retrace how the TV got stolen, and they kind of look where the TV was, and then they look at the broken window, and they look at where the TV was, and they look at the broken window, and it takes them a couple times. That's how I feel like Amber came to this conclusion. Very Frank Drebin way of looking at things. But essentially, what she did is she went over, opened the door, and then when she went to shut it, the curtain blocked her view of seeing that the door was closed. So she left it open. And she says this took a while. She, went around the house doing whatever Amber does and eventually sat down, felt a cold draft, and then realized, oh, that cold must be coming from outside. Then the door was open. Once that was learned, they searched the house, top to bottom, left to right, right to left, upside down. Couldn't find Rarity, and that is when they elected to post online. Whether or not those really line up with the dates she provided, I don't know. But she says at that point, regardless, the quote haters took over. She talks about the Twinkie poster people have made, and she said that the Rarity missing posters have been taken down because of that. I don't know if that's just on the internet or what the case may be, but that seems strange to me. She also directly connects to this quote, taking away from saving Rarity's life. So that is directly placing the blame of the fate of this pet on reaction channels. And you know what, Amber? If blaming someone else makes you feel better, then you can do that for yourself, okay? But at the end of the day, this was your selfish act, no one else's. You refuse to keep your pets in a stable environment. And this is well before Tommy, by the way. I don't want to make it seem like Tommy has anything to do with this because we watched you for years not even be able to take Twinkie for a walk or play because of the condition that you're in. But now you want to come online. You want to project all of these things. But you're still not trying to help your own situation. You treated these pets not like a living animal, but like a possession. You took them away from their home and drove hours and hours and hours. You put them in a brand new, completely unknown environment around other animals. And now you want to push Tommy into all of this. She says that if that's neglectful, leaving the door open, then every pet owner that does this should be labeled. But for all the reasons I just mentioned, it's really just not the case, Amber. I honestly wonder how she is going to leave there. Because once she leaves there, she has to, in a way, mentally come to terms with the fact that she may never find Rarity once she's left. Will she leave? I mean, I know a lot has been said about the situation, but it's interesting. She does say she's going to offer a cash reward, believing that someone may have kept Rarity and they're just waiting for this cash incentive, or, the cash incentive may help people go out and search in their free time. And she says, obviously, she can't go on like this. She hates herself, the normal fare. So I would love to know your thoughts on this, the blame being placed on the community for this, which, to be fair, I think if anything, the community may have actually brought more awareness to this than anything else. Love to know your thoughts on it again. Appreciate you watching it. I'll be back as soon as I can with more comments.